Now, lasso it.
Wow, a lot of people here tonight. Can you hear me?
Your mic up a little.
Sorry?
Move
it up.
It's a long way.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Jan. This is my co-founder Orly. We're lassoit and we're trying to make language learning personal. Use this, like this. We're trying to make language learning personal. So the web has personalized almost everything we do. What we read, the music we listen to, the shopping we do. But learning has been an even more? Yeah. Okay. But learning has been, okay, now I can hear myself. But learning has been an exception to this. We think that learning is sufficiently important that it should be at least as personalized as everything else we do. Just a few words about ourselves. Orly has a bachelor's and a master's degree in linguistics and psychology from Hebrew University here in Israel. And then she did her PhD in the psychology of language at Stanford University. I have a bachelor's and master's in physics from Cambridge University in England. I then did a PhD in computational biology here at the Weizmann Institute in Israel. I did a postdoc at UCSF, and then the last few years I've been running a software consulting business. We've been friends for several years. We met back in Silicon Valley when we both worked there. And what we share, a number of things we share, and among them is a passion for languages. So what we found is that in today's world, for most people, using a language is no longer a luxury. It's really become part of our daily realities. That's definitely true for me. Orly, I think it's true for many people in the room here tonight. And actually this event is an example of this. And in many cases it's a challenge. I'm sure you know people who have great ideas, maybe an entrepreneur that you come across, but who have real trouble expressing their ideas in English. Who have great problems expressing their ideas in English. Now it turns out that there are no solutions for these people out there. There's no textbook or course that can help them with this problem. And it's not that there's a shortage of language learning programs out there. On the contrary, there are very many. But every single one of them is based on the concept of writing lessons. And this approach of content creation is great for beginners. They take you by the hand, they walk you through the first few steps, and it's great. If your goal is to order a cappuccino in Italian, these things work fantastic. But for most people today, that's just not... I need to speak up? Okay. So should I start over, or did you get but for most people today, that's just not what... The mic? Oh! All right. Oh, wow. This is great. Okay.
7 minutes are running out.
This is not my fault. This is a tech fault. This is just TechScan should have fixed this. All right, for ordering a cappuccino, this is great, but for most people, that's just not the help that we need. For most people in this globalized world, our learning needs are a lot more advanced than that, and they're a lot more specific. Now, what do we mean a lot more specific? If you consider the French coach who goes to Manchester United to start a job there, the vocab he needs to know is very specific to do his work in English, and it's very different from what a Chinese grad student needs to know when she applies for a research position in the United States. Everybody's different. We have different backgrounds, we have different interests, and we have different learning needs. Now, the approach of content creation, which is the only game in town today, has no chance of addressing this diversity. For them to come up with an appropriate solution, they'd have to write a dedicated textbook for every single individual out there, and clearly that's impossible to do. But that's exactly the diversity that the internet has to offer. The internet is fantastic. It has content about any topic we can imagine, in any language, at pretty much any level of difficulty, and it's constantly being updated. It's a fantastic resource, but in order for it to be usable for the purpose of language learning, we have to provide tools to make it usable. So the two central challenges that a learner is facing when using the web today is, first, it's very difficult to locate content in a foreign language that is right for your level and right for your learning needs. The second problem is that it's not enough to simply read an article in a foreign language. I'm sure you've all used online dictionaries. You can click on a word, you can get the definition, but chances are you're never going to remember these words down the line. For learning to happen, you need a much more structured and systematic approach. So we overcome these two central obstacles. First, we've developed an algorithm that takes into account your personal profile, the things you know today, the things you care about, and what you're trying to learn. And then it matches existing content online in your target language that matches these criteria. So it's a personalized language-based search engine. Now in the second step, we take the search engine and embed it in a framework of learning. This keeps track of what you know and how you progress, and it makes sure that there are these elements of repetition and gradual expansion that are critical for learning to happen. This approach is unique. Unlike everybody else, we're not giving you yet another set of lessons. Instead, we're giving you a tool that allows you to find existing content and turn it into your unique lesson that is right just for you. The selection of material is going to be different for every user out there. Everybody has different tastes. And basically, if you imagine this, it's the textbook of your dreams. It's a textbook that contains only material that you really care about. So for different people, there are going to be different source materials. For some people, it may be entertainment and gossip. For many people here tonight, it'll be literature from the world of business or high tech. For a third person, it'll be ESPN and Sports Illustrated. And if you care about body language, maybe it'll be the swimsuit. Everybody is different. We're all individuals, and we should learn like individuals. The way we serve you this content could be in the form of a personalized newspaper that contains articles pulled from different sources, but all optimized for your learning. It's like the Flipboard of language learning. Through a browser add-on, we can integrate this with your natural search behavior. So if you're looking for the LinkedIn IPO, for example, we can alert you to the fact that there's an article in Spanish at your level that talks about the same topic. Now, the algorithm is engineered to always be at exactly your level at any moment in time. It doesn't matter where you are in this learning curve, you cannot outgrow the system. So you can go into the system and keep on learning every day. Lassoit changes the way we use the web, and it makes learning an integral and natural part of our online experience. So we've seen these different gateways for Lassoit, to our service. And a gateway is how people often think of Google. It's the gateway to the web, the first place you go to when you open the browser. And in fact, there are a lot of similarities to the search component of Lassoit and what Google is doing. Google did not invent search, but their core innovation in 1998 was the introduction of a metric called PageRank that told you something about the importance of a page. Now, we're not interested in information retrieval like Google is, so the metrics we're using are different. They're designed to optimize learning. But other than that, what we're doing is very similar. We have these metrics that find the right material for your learning, and we make them available to you. So just like Google makes the web usable for information retrieval, we're making the web usable for language learning. The way we choose these metrics is based on insights from the psychology of learning that make sure that your learning potential is maximized. So we said that this is a global problem in the beginning. Let's have a look at the market. Like all language learning solutions, the addressable market is much larger than the education market because it has a very strong consumer component. Unlike these language learning solutions, we're targeting a much larger group of people. We're not talking about tourists, we're not talking about travelers, we're not talking about people who learn language as a hobby. We're talking about anyone who needs foreign languages as part of their daily routine. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people who have a pain that's essentially unaddressed, and we think that Lassoit is the right solution for them. Thank you.